Yo, what's good everyone? This is AEO Boxing with Madiba, and here's my post-fight review for Josh Taylor vs. Jack Catterall rematch. And as expected, it was a great fight. Way better than the first fight for sure. I bet $15 for Jack Catterall to win by stoppage, but I'm not even mad that this fight went the distance. I was entertained from the start to the end. So respect to both Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall for putting on a good fight and putting everything on the line. I'm not surprised by the outcome of the fight. I thought that Catterall would win due to styles and how the first fight played out. Catterall is a pure boxer and a counterpuncher, which is a perfect style to neutralize the aggressiveness and pressure of Taylor. I also thought that Taylor was past his prime and past his best, and for the most part, my analysis was correct. Because in the early rounds, I would say from rounds 1 to 6, Catterall was in control of the fight. Catterall looked like a British Floyd Mayweather because that Philly show was working wonders. Catterall was fighting on the back foot and his jab was on point. It was active and accurate and disrupted Taylor from closing the distance. He would double, triple, and even quadruple the jab to the head and would land sneaky jabs to the body. Catterall would then follow up with sneaky left hands and combinations, and would consistently counter Taylor, especially when Taylor was coming in. He would also slide nice hooks and uppercuts to the body whenever they got into the inside. Taylor would have some success applying pressure, going to the body with left hands and right hooks up top, but Catterall's defense was too sharp for Taylor to gain any real momentum. Catterall would slip and catch a lot of those punches and use lateral movement to escape and evade Taylor's aggressiveness, and smother whenever Taylor closed the distance and got to the inside, often pushing Taylor back. Taylor was hit with a lot of big shots, especially the left hand, and was visibly stunned by multiple left hands. And it was mainly due to the fact that Taylor kept his head on the damn line rather than moving it. Taylor couldn't figure out Catterall, but he kept on applying his pressure, and the dynamic of the fight would change in the second half of the fight. Catterall expended a lot of energy fighting the way that he did in the first half of the fight, and once he began to slow down, Josh Taylor's pressure and aggressiveness became effective. Taylor began closing the distance, bringing the fight from the outside and mid-range to the inside. Taylor did this behind his jab and going to the body with his left hand. Once on the inside, Taylor was ripping right hooks that would go around or through Catterall's shoulder roll and guard. And Taylor would often double up these hooks and they were effective. It was clear that Taylor was forcing and pushing Catterall on his back foot rather than Catterall doing it on his own accord. Despite that, Catterall was still having success and would often steal rounds by landing solid combinations at the end. The fight was close going into the championship rounds, but Taylor was the one pushing the pace and had the edge until he was hurt by the counter left hand that almost dropped him in the 11th round. I thought Taylor won the last round, but the 11th sealed the deal for Catterall. Overall, it was a good ass fight. I liked the adjustments that Catterall made in the rematch. He was more aggressive and assertive with his attacks compared to the first fight, in which he was just looking to counter only. My only concern is that Catterall doesn't have a second gear or a kill switch because I feel like he could have capitalized on certain moments in this fight, especially in the 11th. Taylor, on the other hand, looked great in my opinion despite losing. The fight was closer than what the judges gave it. I saw it as 8-4 or 7-5 if you're being generous, but still, this fight answered a lot of questions that I had about Taylor. Taylor may be out of his peak prime, but he's not washed up. He's still a good fighter, and I think he could compete at the championship level at 140 still. However, he needs to fix up his defense because him keeping his head on the line, especially when he's coming in, is an easy target and he will eventually get hurt by doing this. I think it's time for Catterall to get a title shot at 140 because it's been long overdue. Not sure who would be against, but I'm guessing the winner of Subriel Matias and Liam Paro. And I'm not sure where Taylor goes from here. Maybe he moves up to welterweight. But who knows, this is boxing. But thank you for tuning in with AEO Boxing with Madiba. Hit like, subscribe, and more content's coming your way.